Hey guys, Mike at Wildcat Creek. Working with some primitive tools here, okay? Got this metal detector a few weeks ago. Been playing around with it. Hadn't had it out to actually dig it, just doing air tests, all kinds of tests. Uh, See the video, my short video about recovery speed is amazingly fast with this detector. And I call this a 50-30 detector. There's some people call it a tack lung or a T clung. I don't know. I got this one off of Temu. $30.24 tax, everything delivered. Bang. You know, this is an inexpensive budget metal detector that seems to actually work. Runs off of two 9-volt batteries. They recommend that you use alkaline or rechargeable only. Uh, the heavy duty 9-volt batteries, a lot of these are 12 and 13 volts when you take them out of the package, and they could essentially burn up your voltage regulator in a metal detector. That's true of the bounty hunter detectors too. So, you know, try to avoid using the super heavy duties. They're cheap. They're cheap for a reason. The alkalines are expensive. Try and get rechargeables. That's the way to go if you're using 9-volt batteries. This thing comes in at 5 kilohertz operating frequency, very low frequency, and you know that's part of the VLF range. It's an analog detector, no digital readout. Um, Ergonomics are really good. When I'm standing up and I'm 6'1", the coil is right where I want it. And, you know, it's got the armrest that works good. It's kind of floppy, but $30, you know, you're not going to go to the moon for $30. And you could do things to it to stiffen it up. It does have a little bit of wobble in it. You know, that's one of the things you give up. um, it's good for $30. Got an 8-inch coil. VLF, you got to be moving for it to detect. There's no pinpoint. Got to use the old X method. Find your sensitive part on the coil there. Get it this way, then get it that way. Bang, targets below where your two sweeps meet. 90-degree sweeps. This thing breaks down easily when you put it together. Be careful with this plug. It's got like 4 pins and a bump, you know, and you got to match up the bump. You got to make sure those 4 pins are in the right holes. If they're not, you will push the pins back into this plug, and that's pretty well ruined it. So be very careful plugging that in. I wouldn't be taking it in and out, but you can leave it attached to the lower rod. You know, leave it, all this stuff, take it apart here and take this off. It'd fit in a backpack easily. So good for travel, good for just being you in a backpack and nobody knows you got a metal detector. You know what I mean? Has an intensity meter. Don't know how useful that is. Probably not much. Uh, Maybe when you start getting deeper signals, it might help a little bit, but it's probably just something you'll never pay any attention to. It's got a power sensitivity switch. Turn it on. Sensitivity goes clockwise till it maxes out. And I've been running it now in my testing on full sensitivity. Have a volume switch here, external speaker. You've got a headphone jack for the small size headphone earbuds. You got a low battery light, lets you know when you need to replace the batteries, and you have a discriminator. And I have marked my discriminator. I used a 16 penny nail, a pull tab, this old beaver tail. I have a square pull tab too. Used them both to mark the pull tab reject range. Zinc penny, I marked it on there, and marked penny dime on there, and that allows you to cut that out if you're hunting clad. You know, dimes, pennies are hardly even worth digging anymore, especially copper pennies are worth like maybe 2 cents. So, you know, at some point it might behoove yourself to go back and redig some of these spots. But in the meantime, I'm just interested in quarters up, you know, get a few silver rings every once in a while. Gold, not with this detector, except maybe in kiddie parks and at the beach. Go just above all metal, dig everything. But that's about everything on here. Going to do some depth detecting. And I'll bring that video back to you. Thanks for watching. Subscribe, blah, 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 blah. Hope you guys are doing great. And we will see you later, okay? If I turn this phone off. That always proves to be a trick.